Hi everyone, I'm shooting into the light. Oh well. So I'm at Plastics. I know my lighting's not very well, but today's not about lighting. I just left Plastics and I'm like this because I want to show you a couple things, which should be interesting because there's a cafe right in front of me, but whatever. So I just came from Plastics. I was talking about the noise that I heard when I went to Santa Fe, the bubbling noise, and if you haven't seen that vlog, backtrack one, because that's what it will, you'll be able to hear the sound. I actually brought my phone with me. I guess this is part of why I vlog. I brought my phone with me and I had them listen to it because it's not doing it anymore. So I'm glad that I did the vlog while I did. So the nurse heard it. My doctor's and my plastic surgeon's in surgery right now, but my nurse heard it, and oh my gosh, receptionist, the woman who does the appointments and stuff, who's like awesome, she heard it too. So I'm just so educational for people because it's very rare. So what I know is they didn't give me a name for it. I Googled and found that name, Peri-implant breast gas. I don't know. That's what Google says or wherever I found it. So the information I'm relaying today, again, I'm not a medical doctor, all that blah, blah, blah. So she actually brought out an implant for me to hold so I can understand it. And she said, like, with the changes in elevation or air pressure, I guess. It's not necessarily the elevation, it's the air pressure because of the elevation. What happens basically, and I wish I had an implant to show you, but it's almost like, you know, picture like an implant, I don't know. The plastic that's around it kind of, it gets compressed, so it kind of like folds out. Like if you had a wad of Play-Doh and you were to like, you know, like squish it a little bit, and then when you squish it, like there's air bubbles that are inside of that, and then over time, like as you're moving it around or moving your body around, those bubbles will just like pop and go away. So that's the popping sound that I heard, was the bubbles. And it only, like if I'm walking normally I didn't hear it, but if I went like this and I'm extending, you know, the implant or changing its shape just by doing this on either side. My boobs actually look nice today. I'll get a nice little thumbnail, and then this will get 75,000 views too. But I also want to talk about some augmentation he was talking about. So yeah, so that's what it was. Still, I came here because I wanted her to feel around, especially because my last, which I didn't really vlog about because I was perturbed about it. But I did have an MRI. I have a lump here. I'm going to go to someone. Sorry, I'm tired. I'm still a little jet lagged. Who am I seeing for the lump? Oh my God. My oncologist? I think? I don't even remember. Anyway, somebody else is looking at that lump to get their opinion. I feel like it's oncology. I honestly don't even remember. But they found a suspicious area here. When I did maybe I did a vlog on it before, but originally when they saw the suspicious mass, I thought that's what this was. But when I had the ultrasound, she's like, go turn on your side. And I'm like, why? So I turned on my side, and it turns out that there was a suspicious mass on this side. I'm channeling that it's not a big deal. Today actually is 3 years to the day that I was diagnosed with breast cancer. There's a little girl out here. I'm doing a vlog, so I don't want her to be in it. Do you want me to turn? I don't want... Or I could move. I can move back? Okay. I just want to be like respectful of other people and not like put kids on YouTube. Oh, I just hurt her feelings, but I don't care. That's so awful. Like, sorry, I'm vlogging, go leave. I offered other places, but I'll try to make this brief. So they had me turn on my side and did an ultrasound here because that's where the suspicious mass was. They didn't call it suspicious. There's something there that's on the MRI, so, and on the sonogram, but they don't quite know what it is. It could just be scar tissue. They don't know. So I have another MRI scheduled in January. So part of what they said because of that is they don't want me doing any more surgeries or anything on my boobs until they figure out what's going on. And I wanted to go 2024 without having any surgeries. But I have to fix some things on my right side, and that's also what I talked about with plastics today. So I want to share that part with you too, switching gears. So to finish up with the air bubbles, so like, you know, once you're in a higher elevation for an extended period of time, those bubbles will just go away because your body will get used to being there. But basically how she explained it is, here's the implant, and then or to start from the outside, you have your skin, and then, because she kept talking about tissue, and I'm like, I thought they got rid of my tissue with the mastectomy, so why do I have tissue? But it's skin, it's subcutaneous, whatever, that's lining, whatever. And then underneath that is the tissue she's talking about, is the scar tissue that forms around your implant, like when they're putting the Alloderm and stuff in. So going the other way, here's your implant. For me, they used Alloderm around it. Alloderm is skin, not your own skin. It's kind of like a casing, I guess, around the implant to help keep it in place. The Alloderm is made from cadaver skin, but there is no DNA in it. It's just cadaver skin, but it will show up on your bill as a organ transplant, and sometimes you have to work to make sure they understand that it's, I mean, yes, it's skin, but it should be covered, it's supposed to be covered under insurance, or it is covered under insurance. Don't quote me on that, but for me, it was. So it's your implant, it's the Alloderm. They sew the Alloderm around the implant to make it like one piece. And then they put that piece inside after they've cored you out from the mastectomy. They sew, I sound like a doctor, but this is what I've learned. They sew the Alloderm to your tissue, to your skin. I shouldn't say tissue, to your skin, because there is no tissue. And then over time, your body just creates this capsule. You'll hear that capsule word a lot. It creates this capsule around your implant, and that's what adheres everything together. So when she's talking about like having air between like your implant and the tissue, she means scar tissue, not breast tissue, which was my misunderstanding. It's the scar tissue that's around it. I have a lot of information for this one, so maybe I can't have it be that long because I have to go to work, but I just learned a lot today, so I want to make sure I share that with you. The other thing she said too, because I said, is there any issue with the stability of the implant because of all this like stuff that I did to it just by being in the higher elevation that would cause, you know, it to lose integrity, or not integrity, like, you know, I don't want it to like pop or have something be wrong because I, you know, was in a higher elevation, which seems silly, but I just want to make sure like it was still good to go. And she said it'll be fine, just like with Play-Doh, you know, just wash around and it becomes a ball of Play-Doh again. So that was my understanding. All right, I think that's it for the gassy part. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. But like I said, the sound is gone now. But she did do an exam on the side and looked at them. And again, she's like, oh, they look great. And yes, they look great right now. My dress and everything is symmetrical and all happy and stuff. But I brought up some of my concerns because I have mentioned partly why my vlogs are so behind. I was in a not a good place, like end of January, February. Once I had been off the Lupron for a couple of months and then was in menopause again, mentally I was not in a good place. So I started medications, very low dose, but I can't be on anything serotonin based. It just doesn't work for me. So all the, you know, people are like, oh, take a Prozac or Xanax or whatever. None of those work for me. My body just doesn't like me being on them. So anyway, but I had to be kind of on top of it for that, because they're like, oh, you're almost 3 years out, you should be just fine, everything should be just fine, like you just go back to normal. That's a load of shit. You don't go back to normal. You got to figure out your freaking body. So next part, for her feeling around, I'm like, let's talk about all the little nooks and crannies of what I feel and what I'm not thrilled with, because I'm, like I said, because I'm having the MRI in January, they don't want me doing any augmentation, and she asked like what augmentation I wanted to have, or if I was having any issue. And I told her that, like I think I've mentioned on here before. So I had the original double mastectomy 3 years ago, and then, in August. And then I had a revision on my left side to bring my boob like in and up a little bit, because there was some weirdness. Like I could feel if I laid back, I can feel like a divot here. where there was like nothing, and it was freaking me out. And I was having some nerve pain, for like my scars go straight across. I was having I'm like a doctor. So I was having nerve pain at the end of the scar. It almost has like a dog ear, which is common, and it was rubbing up against a nerve or something. There's a birdie here. I wonder if that's my mom. My mom passed away like 4 weeks now ago. Oh my gosh, it was exactly a month ago. It's weird when your mom passes. My mom had breast cancer too. I know this is a tangent, but just because the bird was there. My mom had breast cancer on one side. I mentioned it on my very, very first vlog. She didn't die from breast cancer, just heads up. But she had breast cancer. Neither one of us had the gene for anything breast cancer related. So it's just interesting, but I just thought I threw that in there for some reason. Obviously, I'm still processing her passing. Okay, boobs. So he fixed this side, and now I'm starting to have the same thing with the right side, where it seems like it's like your body wants them to shift back because I'm 52. I don't have the skin of like a 30-year-old. So I wanted to, at some point, not this year, I wanted to go 2024 with no surgeries. I wanted to have the same thing done on this side because I'm feeling that gap here, and I'm starting to have nerve pain again from, this bird is so cute, and he's just like hanging out by me. Hello, little birdie. Where this scar ends, again, same thing. It's the dog ears. So what I mean by dog ears is, you know, like if you're sewing like fabric together, at the end of the fabric, it's like, you know, square shaped, and all they have to do is kind of, you know, trim that that skin, and then it's fine. But I can't do that until they do the second MRI, because if I do have, God forbid, something going on here, they don't want me to do anything until that's dealt with. My gut says that there is nothing going on. It was a when you have an MRI, things that look wrong come up as a different shade of white. And MRIs are very sensitive to showing that. But the only MRI they had to compare to was the MRI I had when I was first diagnosed, where there was like breast cancer all over the place. So I feel like they didn't have much to compare to. I feel like it's just scar tissue that they're looking at, but again, obviously it's still in my head. So that's what I wanted him to do, because he did it on the left side and it was great. The other thing she mentioned, because she looks at them and she's like, oh, they look so great. And I'm like, don't all plastic surgeons say that about their own work? Like, it was the nurse, but like still. And I said, I want you to be honest with me and not tell me what I want to hear, or like, you know, plug you guys, because I know you guys are great, but I'm not in a great place still with my boobs. Today is a decent boob day because of my bra. I know I'm being hard on myself right now, so just take it with a grain of salt, because I don't want you guys being hard on yourself. But she noticed that my boobs, when she looks at them, I said it looks different from when I look down at them, because I don't look at myself naked in the mirror a lot. What I see is I look down, and when I look down, my boobs almost look square. I wanted them to be natural. I said that. The profile for my implants is a medium profile. I don't have like this, you know, whoop. I know I don't want to go with a bigger implant, which was offered to me, but bigger implants would be heavier, and I don't want a heavier implant. These are heavy as it is. If I change profiles, they do have one that has a higher profile, but I think if I had that higher profile at the age of 52, it just looked kind of funny. And part of what I'm not happy with is not necessarily my boobs, it's my boobs in relation to my stomach. Because I've been working my ass off. Like, look, I don't know if you can tell, I have little biceps right here. I've been working my ass off at the gym, and I lost 10 pounds, and then it's just kind of stayed the same. My muscle mass has gone up, so I shouldn't be hard on myself with that, and my body fat has gone down. The weight number, which I have to stop focusing on, but it's part of my program that I weigh myself every morning. It stayed the same. So anyway, because of the weight gain, my lab work says that I'm pre-diabetic, which blows, and my mom was diabetic. I get that it's genetic. I don't want to be on another frickin' pill. Though I did learn today that a lot of diabetes medications make you lose weight. So I don't know. I'm not saying that, like, don't go like, oh, then I'm going to take them. Don't do that. I'm just saying, because they have other effects, obviously, too. And once you're on them, it's not like you're going to get off of them. So I'm going to do whatever lifestyle things I can, so I'm not on those meds. All right, so going back to augmentation. So I told her they look square when I look at them. The outs, like this part is rounded. I don't care what people look like, why is she touching her boobs? Fuck, I don't care. So this part is rounded, but as you go to the middle, to me, it looks square. It looks like, for me, it looks like it goes down and then over. And I want to have round boobs and not down and over. If you've had this done, you get it. If you look down, like that's what they look like. My left side, not so much because he did the surgery. So the nurse today at Plastic said that they can just go in and, which she has said before, you know, clip those little dog tags on the inside and just go like push them over a little bit, just so it's more rounded and not square. So yes, sign me up. The other thing she said is on the sides, I miss having like this, I miss having on the side when it looks like, not that high, but when it looks like this, you know, and again, I've gained weight. Granted, I had liposuction when I had my last reconstructive surgery. And oh my God, that it sounds like, ooh, liposuction, but that shit, man, that is uncomfortable, painful to heal from. My skin turned like black. It was nasty, but it helped. And now, they said, like, you know, now that things have settled, they could go back in and do lipo again, but it's not necessarily all fat. It could just be tissue that's in there. But she said they can go back in and they can, like, I just kind of right now have, it goes up to here and then it's like this little like line here of like just, you know, fat. It sticks out, or skin, whatever it is, it sticks out. And she's like, you know what, you're 52. Most 52-year-olds have that without even having gone through breast cancer. But, you know, if I'm going to have breast cancer, I'd like to have some like positive gifts that come out of it in some way. So she said they can go back in and they can, you know, basically take the skin and pull it together to tighten it. And then I'll have that nice like curve like here. The only negative part is they'd have to go in from my old scar, which means my scar, which ends like here, would be longer. I'm not so opposed to that because if anything, color-wise, my scar is almost flesh colored here. Not so much here, but here on both sides, my scar is more flesh colored. So if you follow the same hope, then if they do make it longer, then it would heal quicker than it does here. I don't know why that happens. I'm just sharing that. But yeah, so she can do that. I don't want to go to a heavier implant. I don't want to go to a bigger implant. A different profile implant will just look weird given my age and everything. And I said part of it too, for me, is it's not so much my boobs, it's my stomach in comparison to my boobs. Because, I mean, I have a good bra on now, but like my stomach is still so big. And I have to, I'm not in a place to be a good role model for this right now, but I have to stop being so tough on myself. And what's frustrating is I feel like there was such a long time, even with these vlogs and this process, that I wasn't tough on myself, that I was so nurturing with myself, and I'm just not there right now. I don't know what it's about. I've now gone through menopause twice, so obviously that fucks with the chemicals in your head, which is why I started taking medication for that. And I don't feel sad. It's just like, I don't know. It's just this. It's this weird other stage of grieving, even though it's been 3 years. And you throw my mom's passing on top of that, like it's a lot, which is partially why I went to Santa Fe to see my friend, to like get away from it all. And I had a great weekend, and I think it's important to do stuff like that to just get away from it all. And you want to get away from it all, and all of a sudden your boobs start farting. And this is what I was doing. That's it. Every time I moved like this, my boobs would make this farting sound. I have to sneeze. Excuse me. And I lost my train of thought. I was switching gears with something about not being so hard on myself. Yeah, because I've been working hard at the gym. You know, I meditate. I do all the things. I went back to Zumba, and it's just not the magic buttons that I thought they would be. And like getting back to Jen. It's like a delayed grief, because in the beginning, like the first year, you're just like in doctor appointment mode. And I don't know, the second year, I feel like I had a lot of sarcastic anger that I let out, where it's like, I don't give a shit about, like, you know, it's all about Jen, screw you all. And now that it's 3 years out, more time has come by, and if anything, like my last Zometa is Monday. Wow. My last Zometa is Monday. So that's the chapter to close because I won't be back on it. And then my Luprons are done, and at this point they're talking about the countdown to being off tamoxifen because I'm in menopause, and they may switch me to an aromatase inhibitor. I don't know. And even with the tamoxifen, what I've been told, again, not medical advice, what I've been told is that it used to be 10 years that you would be on the tamoxifen, and now they're switching that, or there's talk of switching, that there may not be clinical evidence to show that being on tamoxifen longer than 7 years has any added benefit to being on it for 10. So we'll see. And if that's the case, I've been on it for 3, that means 4 years left, which means I'm like halfway done. So I don't know, just a lot to process, a lot going on. And my body, having gone through menopause twice and all this stuff, my midsection is kind of rebelling against me. And menopause twice puts weight on and makes your body look different. My ovaries are shriveled up, which is great. I mean, I don't plan on having any more kids. My kids are grown, but I don't really need them anymore. And it's a change on the inside of your body. So I feel like my body's like, what the fuck is happening? It's windy out. Yeah. So anyway, I gotta go to work, but I wanted to share that with you. Though I am like, look, I mean, if you look at me like just normally here, like, they look pretty nice. Let's do this as a thumbnail. Woo! They look nice today. Oh, and the last thing, which I'll leave you with, because I said it was July 9th, 2021 when I was diagnosed, and right now it's July 9th, 2024. And I asked her, the nurse, before I left at plastics, I showed her my bra, and like my bra strap is pretty. Like, look at that. Here, that's the thumbnail you'll get right here. Like, it has a little lacy thing on it. It's really pretty. But what's not pretty is that this part of it has, like, the way it's sewn, because I got it from a post-mastectomy store, there's pockets that you can like put, if I wanted to put something in it to make them bigger, I could. But I haven't been. Money, I don't know how much those things cost, and like, I don't know, that would be a stupid easy solution for my problem of proportionality with I want my boobs to be like this and my stomach to be like that, and that's just not where I am, and I think it's a little, I have to get over that, and I'm just not there. I'm just being straight with all of you. But she said, she's like, it's been 3 years. She's like, do whatever you want with the boobs. She's like, you can wear whatever bra you want to. And I'm like, I used to, because like even looking at my pictures when I was on vacation, the curvaceousness that I used to have is just not there. And it makes me feel not good about myself. And that bothers me, because my confidence was like awesome before I was diagnosed. But it's just not right now. And I have to work through that. But she said, you can buy whatever bra you want. And I'm like, so what? I can go back to like Victoria's Secret and buy like an underwire bra that has like the Wonder Lift or whatever, the Wonder Bra or whatever the hell it's called, that like lifts and stuff. And it can't lift too much. Like, these don't really move much. And she's like, you can go and get an underwire bra. It's not going to pop your implant, and get something that pushes you up, and lifts you out, or whatever it's going to be. Make you look a cup size bigger, because I did basically go down a cup size after surgery. So not that I would wear it every day, but I think that's going to be my 3-year diagnosisiverary gift to myself, is going to Victoria's Secret and finding this like obnoxiously sexy bra to buy, just to feel more like my, I don't know, I say my old self, that's not really what I mean, just to feel sexy again and to feel pretty. Well, I feel like I'm pretty, but to feel sexy again, because I don't feel that way. All right, I have to seriously get to work. So say goodbye to nice, pretty boobs. But it's a marathon, not a sprint. I hate when people say that, but it is true. Things don't happen overnight, and then things change. What are you gonna do? So my advice, I have to follow up myself, is don't be hard on yourself. When you notice something is different, don't be afraid to say it to the doctors, because obviously I taught them something today by bringing my phone when I had them listen to the sound over the phone. advocate for yourself, because just because the doctors are like, oh no, that's not a thing. If there's something wrong, it could be a thing that maybe A, they don't know about, or B, it's just not studied enough. So you're just adding to the studies, which makes them learn more for the next person that comes in and says, hey, I went to, Denver, and all of a sudden my boob started farting. What the hell's going on? So, and that's why I do these vlogs, to share, so you know that if this happens to you, you're not the only one. I could have like 5 titles for this vlog, but whatever it's gonna be. All right, gotta go. Take care of yourself, be kind to yourself, advocate for yourself. Don't think that you're being too much by asking for whatever, or if you notice that something's wrong, go in. And if you're not happy with the answer from one person, go see another person. Okay? Take care of your bodies, take care of yourselves. Bye.